Hi all my beautiful snowflakes and welcome to this video on how to make a wig wrapper. In this video I will show you two different types of wig wrappers. I have also made a list of materials that you can download for free on my coffee shop. It also includes a more detailed description of how to make a wig wrapper. The first step in measuring your wig is to find the adjustable tabs on the wig cap. Then measure the length from the adjustable tabs to where you want the wrapper to sit. It depends on your wig style. Next step is to measure around the hair where the wrapper will cover. Tighten your measurement tape and then loosen it with 1 cm. Then check if you can glide the measurement tape all the way down your wig without force. Then multiply it by 2 and then you have the width of the wrapper. The last step is to measure the length of the wrapper. Start from where you want the wrapper to sit and then measure all the way down to the ends of the wig. Then go ahead and cut out your fabric. Don't forget to give it sewing allowance. I gave mine 2 cm of sewing allowance. I also gave my ribbons 2 cm of sewing allowance. Then assemble everything by putting the fabric front side to front side. Don't forget to add the ribbons. Place the long side inside of the ribbon on the inside of the fabric and not outside. You will see me putting the ribbon so it will stick out a bit, but don't do that. Just lay them along the top edge of the fabric. So while I'm sewing this together, I would like to thank you guys for making this video possible. I opened a coffee shop back in March where you can find my patterns or leave a tip of your choice. And all the materials I'm using in this video is bought with the money you have used in my shop. So thank you so much for supporting me. It was very nerve-wracking for me to open my first shop, but you guys have only been super supportive about it, and I am so greatly grateful for that. All the money on my Ko-fi goes to making future tutorials like this one, so if you would like to help with that, you can leave a tip of your choice on my Ko-fi, link down below, but only do it if you can. If you want to support this channel in another way, please leave this as a comment down below. Then you have help by poking to the algorithm so my video can reach out to more people who might be in need of this little wig accessory. Thank you so much. Once you're done sewing, turn the wrapper inside out and then go ahead and iron it before sewing the bottom together. You can either hand stitch the bottom together or go over it with your sewing machine. Next I will sew the hooks onto the ribbons, and I would like to show you how I do that. But first let me show you an easy way to tie a knot. First thread your needle and then take the end of the thread and lay it behind the needle. Next you wrap the thread around the needle. The more times you wrap it, the thicker the knot will be. Once you have wrapped it, you then pinch the loops and glide them off the needle and down to the end of the thread. You will then have a knot. I will first secure the center of the hook, and I do that 2 times by going from one eye to the other. The third time I don't pull the thread all the way through. The remaining thread is for when I poke the needle through for the fourth time, except this time I only push the needle halfway through the ribbon. Then I take the remaining thread from round 3 and wrap it around the needle. And it's important that you pick the one that is attached to round 2 and not the one that is attached to the needle. You check that by gently pulling the thread. If there is resistance, you have picked the correct one. If you get more thread, you have picked the one that is attached to the needle, and that is the wrong one. Once I wrap the thread around the needle, I gently hold the loops down while pulling the needle through. This will then create a knot, making it extra secure. Proceed to then finish round 4, then I repeat round 3 and 4 one more time. I then move on to securing the eyes. For this one, I did not create extra knots, but for the other hook I did. It will just make the hook a bit more secure, but when it's only used for this, it's fine not to make them. I then go ahead and finish off the sewing by making 3 knots on the back, but I do not cut the remaining thread off yet. I want to be sure the thread doesn't come loose, so I will show you what I do instead. This is how I sew on hooks, and since I sewed this one on camera, it didn't turn out as beautiful as the other, so I chose to redo it off camera. The last step is to sew on the buttons, and you can either choose magnetic buttons or press fasteners. You can also use Velcro, but it's not recommended since your wig can get stuck in them. And this is how the first wrapper turned out. Here is another example where the wrapper is placed further down the wig. This wig is braided and I only found it necessary to cover the braid. And as you can see, the ribbons are pretty long compared to the other one. For the other wig wrapper, the steps are pretty much the same, except this one does not have ribbons, but instead an elastic cord. And this will be a good time to remind you that you can download the document that includes a much more detailed explanation on how to make the two wrappers. And remember, it's free. You can find the document on my Ko-fi shop. You will find the link down below. And here is an example of the wig wrapper with the elastic cord, which is attached to a ponytail. And here you can see both wrappers attached to a wig style that require both. And look away for the hair sticking out of the wrapper. I accidentally looked at the wrong measurements when I made it. I will then show you how to attach the wrappers and how to remove them. I will first show you the one with the ribbon. Place the wrapper on the floor with the satin facing upward. Then gently lay the wig down with the wig cap facing downward. Then close the wrapper. Then carefully roll the wig over so you can hook the ribbons onto the adjustable tabs. For the wrapper with the elastic cord, I like to attach it while the wig is on a wig kit. I pull one end of the elastic cord out of the cord logger and then gently place the wrapper behind the hair that needs wrapping. Then I reassemble the cord to the logger and tighten it around the wig, and after that I close the wrapper. How to remove the wrappers are quite simple. I loosen the elastic cord and then I just glide the wrapper off. For the other, I just unhook the ribbons and glide the wrapper off. Just keep the hooks in one hand so they don't get stuck in your wig. And that is how you make wrappers for your wigs. I personally really like them for when I storage my wigs or for when I travel to conventions. And the fact that they are super easy to make and only takes around an hour to an hour and a half to make. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. It means a lot to me that you took time out of your day to watch my video, and I hope I'll get to see you again. You are more than welcome to join the Snowflake family. If you do end up making your own wig wrappers by using my tutorial, please share with me. It's a huge joy and motivation for me to make more tutorials. And with that said, I guess all that's left to say is let's keep crafting and go beyond.